All right, we're going to answer as many questions as we can. Let's see, I'm looking at your grade log. And let's see, looks like question number 9 is the first one that we want to address. Make sure that we're recording everything as it go. All right. Question number 9 says, what is the length of AB around your answer to the nearest hundredth? All right. Two ways of solving this question. One is the distance formula. Distance formula should look like this. It's where I've got the square root. I've got in here parentheses squared plus parentheses squared. All right, they give me the coordinate, so that's handy. It's going to be x2 minus x1. Let's use b for x2. So that's -2. Let's use a for my x1. So that's minus -3. Okay, now y2, which is -3, minus 4 squared. Then we just simplify from there. All right, -2, that's going to come out as +3, correct? Okay. So -2 plus 3 is 1. 1 squared is 1. Okay. All right, now I've got -3 minus 4, which is -7. -7 squared is 49. All right, so I end up with the square root of 50, but they want my answer to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to take my graphing calculator, or whatever calculator I have, okay, and I'm going to plug in the square root of 50, and I should get 7 and they want it to the nearest hundredth, so 7.07. If you've got an answer key there, can you tell me if I'm right? 7.07? I can always scroll down to the bottom, I guess. Is that correct? Okay, that's correct. All right, there is another method that you could use just so you have some extra tools. Did anybody use the Pythagorean theorem here? No? All right, just so you're aware, we can use the Pythagorean theorem here by making a right triangle where my blue line is my hypotenuse. Right, uses the same method. You notice that that line is 1, and I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's where I've got that 1 squared plus 7 squared equals c squared. 1 squared is 1, right? 7 squared is 49. That's giving me 50 equals c squared. Square root of 50 equals c. Same thing. Okay? Does that make sense? You can use that if you have a coordinate plane. But in this case, they give me the coordinates, so I'm not really wasting any time, by using the distance formula. All right, let's see which question popped up next. Looks like number 14. Number 14 showed up next. I'm going to make a list up here on my whiteboard of ones that we've done. That way the other class doesn't have to get this same video, 9 and 14. And I'm going to try to make a video for both classes, send out both. That way as many questions are answered from the review as possible that's going to get sent out to you guys. All right, number 14. All right, it says find the value of x, find the measure of the two supplementary angles. Supplementary means what? A little louder. What do you think? Don't know? Okay, it's probably a word that we need to know. Okay, so go ahead. Equals 180 degrees. More precisely, adds up to 180 degrees. It's two angles that add up to 180 degrees. These two angles, okay, form a straight line. This angle plus this angle gets me a straight line, correct? How many degrees are there in a straight line? 180 degrees. So if I take 5x plus 4 plus 3x plus 8, I will get 180 degrees. Okay, can we tell me what to do from here? 3 words. Combine like terms. All right, give me my like terms. Which is 5x and 3x is what? 8x. All right, what are my other like terms? 8 and 4, which is 12 equals 180. Okay, Chandler, what do I want to do with that 12? Subtract it from both sides. Okay, what's 180 minus 12? That's probably going to be like 168. 168. All right, Katie, what do I do with the 8? Divide on both sides. What's 168 divided by 8? What's that? 21, is that what you said? 21. All right, now if this is a multiple choice question and we stop here, will we be right or will we be wrong? We'll be wrong. Why? Got to plug it in, right? So I need to know what 3 times 21 plus 8 is. $71 degrees. Right, and because they're supplementary, I don't even necessarily have to plug it back into 5x plus 4. I just need to subtract 71 from 180. Right, it should get like 109. 109. And you can check it. 5 times 21 should be 105. 105 plus 4 would be 109. Okay, so 109 degrees and 71 degrees. Chandler, can you tell me what's in the answer key for that question? 109 and 71. Okay? I'm going to go back through this just so that you're aware of it. The 3 biggest mistakes people make besides just math on math tests are failure to record the question correctly, failure to answer the question being asked, right, and failure to read the question. Okay, and some of those may sound fairly similar, but they'll all play into basically human error or an unforced error. You guys, if you watch sports, you guys know what an unforced error is? Okay, Katie probably knows what an unforced error is. I'm not saying that you've ever had one, but an unforced error is where somebody makes a mistake with nobody else around. Right, that's an unforced error. Okay, nobody, it's like being out on the football field and a receiver catches the ball, trips, fumbles the ball, the other team recovers it. It was an unforced error. Nobody even touched him. See what I'm saying? So, we have, if we can do away with the unforced errors on our math tests, that'll save us probably even 3 or 4 questions. I won't ask you, Jordan, if you've ever had an unforced error. All right, now we've got several here. About 50% of you missed. Let's see, number 12. Number 12, just right across the way. We'll put this one up. So we'll have to redo that one. Number 12, what is the intersection of RS and TV? Point U. Okay? The intersection of 2 lines is always a point. Okay, so you would just simply say U. U, that's it. Okay? Not me, but you. All right? So that's 12. Next one is 13. Draw the following. RS and ST intersect in plane Q. Okay? Well, this is just a picture. Here's RS. Or actually, hold on. This one is kind of tricky. Here's R. Here's S. Okay, but in order for me to have a line, ST, okay, that means it's got to come through point S. So S is shared. S is a shared point. Okay? The lines intersect at point S. All right, and then we're going to put it on plane, put Q in the corner. Okay, do we understand how to draw those 2 lines and the plane? Okay, obviously you're not going to get a drawing question on your test, but just so you're aware how that works. Yeah, go ahead.
You put the S on top, like all the way up top, would that be wrong?
Yes, because notice in these lines how they're labeled. His question was, if we moved S further up the blue line, would it be wrong? Yeah, it's going to be wrong because S is in both lines, right? If I move S up here, S is no longer on that line T, okay? So that's why it has to be a point of intersection. Okay, good question. Okay, that was 13. All right, what else do we have? Looks like 15. Okay, 15. Okay, which angle is complementary to IGH? Which angle is supplementary to it? All right, well, that takes us back to having to know what supplementary and complementary are. Supplementary, what was supplementary again? Two angles that add up to 180 degrees. What does complementary mean then? Two angles that add up to 90. All right, so if we have IGH, okay, we want to know which angle is complementary to it. Which angle plus my red angle adds up to 90 degrees? Can we tell now? Michael, what do you think? FGH. In order for them to be complementary or supplementary, they have to be adjacent, which means they can't overlap. If I do FGH, FGH is 90 degrees, right? So let's say that this was 27 degrees here, right? Is 90 plus 27 going to equal 90? No. Okay, so let's try again. Okay, we have IGH. IGH plus, all this is the angle addition postulate. IGF. IGF. Okay, is complementary. Okay? Okay? With that being said, okay, we've got IGH. What angle with IGH is supplementary? Do you think you know, Jordan? With IGH, that means it's going to make it 180 degrees. It's going to go all the way around. No, well, not in a circle, but it's going to finish out the line. Or compared to IGH, it finishes it across. Got to get all the way to J. IGJ, that is absolutely right. Angle IGJ is supplementary with it. Okay? Do we understand those two differences? Okay, it's just angle addition postulate. This angle plus this angle is going to equal 90. This angle plus this angle, right, side by side are going to equal 180. All right. All right, let's look and see what's next. Let's see, that was 15. Looks like we got 16 next. 16 was from the last test, right? Or a little different. Same basic concept. Determine the values of x and y in this diagram. All right, well, the easiest one to figure out here is if you look at this angle, what do you notice that the blue angle totals out to be? A right angle, which is how many degrees? 90. But this angle right here is only 60. So what am I going to do? How do I know what y is? Right? Because, or y plus 60 equals 90. Right? So what do we know y to be? 30 degrees. Okay? Because they're complementary. All right? Now, I'm going to use this 90 that we see here. I'll make it a little more visible. We have 90 here. We have 40 here, right? So this, if the whole thing is a straight line, then what am I going to do to find x, Chandler? Okay, so you're saying 180 minus Minus what? Minus 30? I mean, you can. I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from. Do you know? Okay, so we're looking for this remaining part. Do we know what all of the other parts are? Yeah, we know, I mean, if it's divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, and we know 3 of those parts, right? What can I do? Add them. Okay, what am I adding? 60, 30, and 40. Okay, 60 plus 30 plus 40. What's that come out to? 130 degrees. All right, what are you going to do with that 130 degrees? Subtract it from 180. All right, what do you get? All right, so what's left over is 50 degrees. 50 degrees goes right there. X equals 50 degrees. Okay, did we make that harder than it needed to be? Okay, maybe. All right. All right, I want to say that 17 might be the next one on our list. Okay. Identify the hypothesis and conclusion of the following statement. If x equals 2 and y equals 5, then 2x plus 4y equals 24. All right. If I start off with if, what comes next, the hypothesis or the conclusion? Hypothesis. How do I know when the hypothesis stops? Okay. Comma. Then what? Conclusion. How do I know when the conclusion is over? Okay. All right, so the hypothesis is that red portion there, and I probably should have made the conclusion a different color. But what is the hypothesis now that you look at our statement? Right. X equals 2 and y equals 5. That is my hypothesis. Let's pick a different color for my conclusion. What is my conclusion, Katie? 2x plus 4y equals 24. That is correct. Okay? And it's just that. The hypothesis does not include the word if. The conclusion does not include the word then. Okay? No. Yes, when they're asking for the hypothesis, it will not include the word if. When they ask for the conclusion, it will not include the word then. All right, the hypothesis is x equals 2 and y equals 5. The conclusion is 2x plus 4y equals 24. Okay, does that help you out? All right. Let's see, it looks like the next one is 19. Okay. 19, determine whether the following conditional statement is true. If Jane lives in the USA, then Jane lives in Arizona. If it is false, give an example that shows why it is false. Is this statement true? No. All right, give me a counterexample. All right, so really you could say she could live in Texas or Utah. Basically, she could live in any other state except Arizona and still be in the United States. Now, granted, this question isn't asking for this, but the converse of this statement would be, if Jane lives in Arizona, then she lives in the USA. Would that be a true statement? Yes, that would be a true statement. This statement is not necessarily true because we can come up with a counterexample. She could live in 49 other states, right, and still live in the United States. Okay, that is really probably the last question. Everything else falls down to just single people missing them. So I don't want to stop here, but I want to know which questions you individually want. What's that? I answered, Katie, I answered all of yours. Okay. I'm going to go back up to 3. No, they don't have to be. The question is, what does the statement say? If it is a quadrilateral, then it is a parallelogram? Not necessarily. Trapezoid is a quadrilateral, but it's not It's not a parallelogram. Right, or even a kite. There are quadrilaterals that are not parallelograms. All right. Do you still need number 3? Angle S is complementary to angle T. If measure angle S is 55 degrees, what is the measure of angle T? It adds up to, no, that's supplementary. Adds up to 90. You got it? Okay. Should get something like 35 degrees there. Okay. Do you have anything else? Okay, Katie's good. Chandler? Number 8. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and count 3 as done. Number 8. Okay, let's take a look. Michael wants to carpet his living room floor. If the floor is a rectangle that's 18 by 20 feet, determine the area of the floor in square inches. Notice that, or sorry, square feet. You're just taking 18 times 20, right? Because a rectangle's area is length times width. So 18 times 20 is what? Okay. Was that answer wrong in the answer key? Okay. All right. We can count that one as done. Chandler, do you have any others? Okay. Michael, Marcos, either of you have any other questions? Nope. We're all good there. All right. We'll close it down.